Oh, what is this?
Yeah, buddy.
A little bit of a layoff.
We're back, though. It's okay.
People were giving you shit, huh?
Yeah, I got a little bit of hold on. It's I got to post to my fans. It's go time. Yeah, so we took a couple weeks off, and I was getting a little bit of hate mail from people just saying, where's the show? And we're back.
I get it. You know, this is the thing I'm third most known for.
Wow. Well, we have to get as many shows in as we can since you are 50 now.
Yes.
Yeah, like the clock has started ticking, bro. Like you're on the back end, dude.
You know what the dumbest stuff, people kept saying?
Hope to see you at 60.
No one's thinking that. Well, a lot of people were like, it's just a number.
No, it's real.
Which is such a stupid. It's like, no, I know it's a number, idiot. I don't feel 50. You know what I feel, though? That number just looming.
Yeah, your wife was saying you were a little bit perturbed about turning 50. Like you were a little sour about it, which is not like Joe. But I heard you were pouting.
I was like, I don't know. Again, being a sports fan, when you're 50 years old, you're washed up. I mean, you're washed up in your 40s, but depending on the sport,
unless you're LeBron,
you can get into your mid to late 40s, but by 50, you're like a general manager or a base coach
or a wiffle ball player.
And which is great, but you know what I mean? It's my point is, I feel great. I look great,
You what?
I'll tell you a funny story. The other day, I was talking.
Who were you mistaken for again?
No.
Because we had this at the what were people saying at your birthday dinner table? Was that Jason Momoa?
Oh yeah, I get that sometimes. It's like people give me shit about that. Is it my fault? People are like, dude, you know who you look like? Jason Momoa. Now listen.
Like if it was twins, like the Danny DeVito Jason Momoa, maybe. Like his special needs brother. That's aggressive. I've told you I'm coming in hot today.
That's rough.
I'm coming in hot today, and I feel like I'm sitting in someone's jockstrap right now. It's so hot in your basement.
Really? I feel cool.
It's gross in here.
No, really?
It's okay though. So go ahead, talk to us about 50.
I think it's this. I
just started drinking it. It's pretty good, by the way.
I mean, what is this? You didn't even tell me.
It's like it's a tequila, 21 seeds infused with some oranges.
It's fruity. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's just being on the wrong side of 50. I feel like once you're past 50, then if you drop dead, people are like, I lived a good life. You would expect, you're over 50. Anything under 50, people are like, oh my God, what a tragedy. You went too soon.
Yeah.
Once you're past 50, it's like, well, you had a good life.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
man.
That's the cutoff. After 50, if somebody drops dead, it's not. Think about this, right? Say,
be careful, Joe. My wife's turning 50 soon.
Say, this is important for her then, but say like, a South Korean pop star, 22, falls off a building. I think that really happened, right? It's a fucking tragedy.
That was first of all, that was really random. Like you went 22-year-old South Korean pop star.
Yeah. Now, how about this? 35-year-old white actress American dies from like diarrhea. All right. Fucking tragedy. Oh, yeah. What happened there?
Yeah, but imagine being that person like they found and they're like, oh, she had diarrhea to death.
48-year-old woman on an airplane, a little Cessna, bumps her head on the landing. And like a few hours later, her brain bleeds to death. Tragedy. 52, heart attack, lived a good life. See what I'm saying?
No.
That's the difference. Once you're over 50, death is expected.
My boss died at 52 of a heart attack, and I thought it was pretty tragic. I didn't expect
He
it
had
to
just
happen.
turned 50. That's why. He hadn't really crossed the threshold fully, Vin. 51, and you would have been like, well, look.
No, he was
been around a
52.
long time.
Like, you literally just said a 52-year-old dude dies of a heart attack.
Oh.
That was him.
Well,
sorry, friends
you
and
knew
family
him.
of Mike Auger.
Because you knew, I mean, I couldn't have guessed that in a million years.
Well,
really?
I mean, I couldn't have predicted you were going to mention a 22-year-old South Korean pop star. So that I don't know what you were watching before I got here, but that is
52-year-old lawyer, mentor to Vin, heart attack, 52.
Boom, not
That
tragic.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be tragic for everybody else because I ended up on my own, and now I'm wreaking havoc. So,
well, there you go. What I'm saying, right? I don't know. That's all. That's the only thing. And so I felt, and I don't ever really get this, but I felt anxious. I had like anxiety, not an anxiety attack, but like anxiety enough where I was like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because I think you get to the point in life where, like, I mean, you're on, not to be morbid, but like you're really on a timetable now.
Wow. Okay.
Like, you don't have another
my deepest, darkest fear just put into pretty solid terms.
Well, I mean, you don't have another 50 years.
What do you mean I don't have another 50 years?
You don't have another 50 years. You got a solid 30. So think about that. You're going to die sooner than, I don't know what I was trying to say, but you live longer than, you know what I mean?
I'll be dead sooner than I've been alive.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait.
If you and I are the center of the universe, in 50 years, we'll still be doing this.
Dude, if I'm alive when I'm almost 100, someone please come over to his basement and shoot me in my face. It's my biggest fear in life is getting old.
Would you want to live to be 100?
No.
What if in the future there's gene therapy enough that you would be physically in the same condition now in 50 years from now, exact same physical condition? Would you do it?
Only if everyone I knew was doing the same thing I was doing. I don't know. Because everyone around you is fucking dying, dude. Like, there's an expiration point on this life. Like, I don't want to live past that. I just don't. I have no interest in it. Like, I'm already annoyed with life, and I'm 45. I can't imagine what I'm going to be when I'm 100. I'm going to be miserable. I am. It's my, like, that is my biggest fear. That means set on fire. But I don't want to get old. I go out and I just see these like old people shuffling around, and I'm like, no. It scares the shit out of me.
No, all right, but I'm saying, what if physically you would be just in the same physical condition?
Yeah, but then it goes to the point: is everyone else in the same? No, then like I gotta watch everybody die.
Yes.
Then you gotta go to a bunch of wakes and funerals, and you're like,
you're an expert. People talk about Vin and how good he is. Like, hey, look at Vin at this funeral. He's an expert.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good, dude.
You could write a book on it. It becomes a Broadway musical.
That I just live forever?
No. That you become really good at funerals. Like you write a book on funeral etiquette.
I will tell you, I am the worst at funerals.
Whimsical anecdotes.
No, I'm not a big emotional person, so I don't. I'm not good at funerals. It's not a good spot for me.
What do you call that print? What do you think that is?
Floral.
You think those are flowers?
They're leaves. I'm pretty sure they're leaves. I don't know. This really got off topic.
Never seen anything like that before.
Well, I'm sorry. Noticed you put a collar shirt on. When did that happen, by the way? Because you were in a white tee about 7 minutes ago.
Was I?
It must peer pressure. You didn't want to get one up by me.
I thought we were t-shirting it tonight.
I was, but I literally just left the office because I've been having a week, so it's been a long one.
Oh yeah, tell us about it.
I don't know if I want to. Actually, I got called out by my sister today, so it's kind of she could tell when I'm a little stressed out. So, but it was one of those weeks. It was like Tuesday, and I thought it was Friday already. I was just I haven't been able to stay ahead of things, and it actually got to a point this week. I was in a pretrial with a judge. An opposing counsel had an IQ of that mouse pad. So which just infuriated me. So I'm a very judgy person when it comes to this stuff. So he walks into the courthouse with like white tube socks, a pair of Skechers, just looking complete mess. And I'm like, this guy, whoever he represents, who happens to be the other side of the case, is going to lose just on appearance alone. So I was already mad because how dare you disrespect me with your presence?
I like that.
You like that? Yeah, see that when I'm in attorney mode, I don't eat any humble pie. And he also happened to look like Donkey from Shrek.
Oh, that's not cool.
So I might have been in chambers giving this guy the business. And then I was like, anyone want a parfait? Hey, you want a parfait? And the other counsel knew what I was doing and started laughing. He had no clue that I was making fun of him. But it was funny.
That's a solid Eddie Murphy, by the way.
Yeah, thank you very much. But it was just a crazy week. It just I can't get ahead. So that's that in a nutshell. I actually heard something today that actually kind of helped me out a little bit with that. So I think for all the business owners out there, self-employed, and you're trying to find a balance of working your files but making money, but also having a life, right? And you get in these ruts of, well, I know I do anyways, where you're just focusing on is the money coming in so you can make payroll, all of that stuff. And I heard it today, and it was something like, well, they print money, but you can't print time. Right? Like, that kind of makes sense. Who is this? Who is Jeff Prescott?
You just met Jeff the other night.
Oh, yes. Wow. That's an aggressive comment, by the way.
That's actually tame, generally speaking.
All right. I'm not going to read that one on the air, but thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
He called us handsome devils, let's just say.
Yeah. I mean, that made me feel good. Thank you. Cheers.
It made him feel good as well. Oh, man.
Yeah. So it was just, I had to remind myself today. It's just like, listen, I really have to put more value on my time. Right? Like I've been self-employed for 15 years. Obviously, I still have a business going on. So money's always going to be there because money's created, right? But you can't get your time back, right? You can't just go to an ATM and be like, well, I want to refill my time, right? You can't go to the bank and be like, hey, I want to withdraw time so I can get more time, right? But you could always go get the money.
Right.
So like, I was just talking about that with my sister today, is that I really have to start finding my balance again. And working 13 hours today and coming to do a podcast is not much of a balance, but I know my fans wanted me here, so I'm here.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
My fans wanted me here, so I am here. But yeah, it's been a crazy week. I've had 3 trials. I got another one tomorrow. And
don't you settle like everybody else?
I'm known to get settlements. Yes. I think in this day and age, to be honest, it's much more litigious. I think from a family law divorce attorney perspective, I think most of the family attorneys are focused on their billing and not getting results. I could tell you, for example, this week I have a case. We went to mediation. It's scheduled for trial next week. The proposal the attorney put out there was the craziest thing I've ever read. Like by far the craziest thing. And I'm like, so I just walked into the mediation and I plopped down my agreement. The judge was like, yeah, that all makes sense. Like didn't even change any of my punctuation, and she was just off the rails. Like crazy. And it's just, you waste 4 hours and you leave. And these couples don't realize that, like, listen, the only people who win are me. So you're going to pay me more money. Right. So it's difficult because you're not only are you dealing with your clients, but you can't control the other client and the other attorney. My job is to take the emotion out of it. I'm not your friend. I'm not going to give you friend advice. I'm just going to tell you what it is. You may not like it, but I think I try to be like that in every aspect of my life. Like, be transparent, just get to the point, and this way you're saving your time and you're saving the excuses from your client. But it's just nonstop, dude. It's nonstop nonsense. And then my staff is out tomorrow. They're taking a long weekend to Maine, and I forgot, which always stinks. So now I'm gonna be like flying solo tomorrow. So thank God we're not doing the podcast tomorrow because I would not be sober. But everything else is good. Kid went on his orientation.
Oh no.
Yeah.
When's he move?
He is out moving in, I think, the second week of August.
You sad?
No, actually, I'm not. No.
I thought you were.
No, my wife is sad. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna miss him, but I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. You know, I think it's weird. Like, I mean, obviously, like, I'm a stepdad, right? But like, it's like when he turned 18, it was like a switch in my head. And then he graduated high school. So now I look at him different. Right. Like, so he came home from orientation. They flew in late. It was like 11:30. I'm in bed. And he's like, I'll just wake up in the morning, text the boss, you know, tell him I got in late and I'm not going to be there. I was like, you're out of your mind. Right. So in the morning, I was outraged. Like I was at the gym telling just complete strangers this story. How he's like, you know, I'm just tired and I'm not going to go. And I told one of the guys, I was like, I'm going to have his car towed when I get home if he's there. But he went to work. And it was weird because it's those moments you have that you're like, you're proud. You're like, all right, like what I'm doing, like the example that I'm trying to set, like they're watching. Right. But yeah, him being 18, he's definitely full of a little more piss and vinegar these days. No, he's mad because he wanted to go to Florida for a week with his girlfriend. And we're like, you got to work, dude. You made a commitment. You got to stick to that commitment. But I'll miss him, but it's going to be good to see him go out there. He's excited. So, and then I'm just going to have to deal with my wife. And hopefully she gets through it okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure everything's gonna be great. Got a good feeling about this one.
Yeah, they're I think her and the ex and the kid are going out to dinner tonight to discuss school finances. I'm glad I'm here, guys. Yeah. Glad I'm here with you. You know, and other than that, the crazy world we live in. It's good to know that the leader of Liberia speaks English, such good English. Given it's his first language.
Do you know what the capital of Liberia is?
Hartford.
It's called Monrovia. Do you know who it's named after?
No.
President James Monroe. He of the Monroe Doctrine, which dopey-ass Trump a couple months ago referred to as the Monroe Document.
Or, you know, my favorite is having, you know, a military surround a park when kids are just playing basketball and doing activities. But don't worry about it, guys. We're good here in America. It's perfectly normal to have your troops just patrolling parks. Just make America great again. I didn't want to go down that path, but it's been so wild the past week.
Well, what do you think about this idea that we could take Medicaid recipients and have them do the migrant work on farms? I mean, these people are fucking geniuses. Why didn't we think of that before?
It is so crazy where we're at in this country. Like, and I think anyone who just blindly supports this fucking buffoon and his team of buffoons are just raging fucking assholes at this point, because he pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. And it's okay to say, hey, people who voted for him made a mistake. He's a salesman. That's what he does. That's how he built his businesses. But just look at the facts, dude. 17 million people without fucking healthcare. Hospitals are going to be closing. I'm going to save a ton of money on taxes because this big, beautiful fucking bill will be $4 trillion more in fucking debt. And don't worry, the $140 billion he just applied to ICE, they're the biggest federal agency now. Their budget's bigger than any other CIA, FBI, you name it. Biggest budget. So instead of putting resources into fighting terrorism and children exploitation, drugs, nah, we're just going to go to Home Depots and pull people out.
You know what it is, though? They have been able to at least convince their base that all of those things you just mentioned are all tied together in one thing.
Yeah, but that's not who they're going to get. Like, I literally saw like this 75-year-old Polish guy walking down the street of Meriden looking like he's going to buy a lotto ticket, and SWAT, masks, guns come flying out of these black cars, and he disappears. Like, that's the type of shit that's happening here. That's the type of stuff we used to see in other countries on the news. I'd be like, thank God we don't live there. Right? Like, the fact that you got this, what do they call that? Like the alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some ignorant, backwoods, just IQ of 45 type shit. Anyone who support, oh, you know what? We're not going to staff them. We're just going to put some big ass gators back there. And people are loving it. It's like a reality show now.
Yeah.
But it's not. And it's funny because I know from me personally, in my personal life and like my bank account and all of that stuff, it's not going to affect me as a person. And I can laugh at it. But the fact that enough people support this guy to let this happen to your fellow like neighbors is crazy to me. You know, they don't pay, immigrants don't pay into the government. They paid in $8 billion in 2023. $8 billion. Because people don't realize, yeah, they might be illegal, but they still have tax identification numbers. So they're still paying into the system. Never mind the fact that they're buying things.
Sales tax.
Yeah. Like who's doing all of that? Right? And I think the conversation should be, how do we make it easier for people to become citizens here?
Oh, that's the old Republican way. That was George Bush or Ronald Reagan.
But like if you streamline it, if that's what you want people to pay in, then make it easier instead of having to wait 5 to 10 years to become a citizen. But no, just drop $140 billion, hire 10,000 ICE agents. And what are we doing? And the fact that everyone's just like, meh.
You know why? It's winning.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Right? It appears winning every time they pluck somebody off the street. I mean, really, you're going to remove 30 million people one at a time. It is. It's if you support it every day, it's like Christmas.
I saw there was a guy, I don't know where I saw it, but he voted for Trump and then his wife got plucked.
Oh, I read a few of those articles.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh yeah, it's real. Right? Like, but just take this stupid shit as Epstein, right? Like, I mean, the guy's a fucking creeper, a weirdo, and we're still talking about it. But the fact that they're just lying, like boldface just making shit up in front of everybody. And it's just like, meh.
Well, I just think it's funny that the same people who ran on and insisted that they're, first of all, when they talk about the Epstein list, people picture like a fucking, and it's got all the names on it.
Alphabetical, too.
I mean, no such document exists.
Correct.
So let's start there. That's not people are, let's see the list. And there's been a couple of fake lists that have circulated on the internet. It's like Tom Hanks, Oprah, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, nobody I like. Right? It's always that shit. Beyonce, like Beyonce's a pedophile.
Yep.
Okay. I don't think so.
But it's sad. I mean, yes, they're assholes, but it's just a reflection of where we're at in society. And we have a lot more time with this shit. Like the next 3.5 years. And then are we going to be able to recover from it?
You know what? It's going to be a wild 3 years. No doubt about it. There's going to be a lot of things that'll need to be undone in 3 years from now. But I remember in Trump's first term, a lot of Democrats and people on the left said this country will never recover. And I mean, technically, I guess you could say that's true. But basically, when Biden took office, everything Trump had done, he undid with executive orders.
Yeah, but
then Trump came back and just put all the shit back in place. So the next guy will obviously.
Yeah, but I think it's a whole nother level, and I don't even think it's the policies. It's just the people who are out there now. Like that's what scares me. Like these people, you should just stay the fuck home, and now they're just out and proud, right? Like, and it's just, I don't know. Like it just feels weird, like going out because it's just people are. Like they used to kind of hide their crazy, right? Like just hide that, like I'm an asshole factor. And now it's just all out on the table.
Well, in this age of entitlement where everyone is entitled enough to accuse everyone else of being entitled, we have an entitlement problem, right? There's, I mean, listen, a lot of white Americans think that this is our country.
Oh my God. I saw something the other day. And it was a young kid too. And it was, white people built this country. And I'm like looking around and I'm like, well, we had slaves and, but if it wasn't for us, they'd still be in Africa. And like, if I was like, if I looked at myself in 19, that thought never crossed my mind. But if I said that out loud, you're dead the next day. Like the fact that like people could talk like that, and never mind, people just seem to forget we are a country built on immigrants. Like that's how we all got here. Like we're not like we invaded this place.
The original Americans came here on the Mayflower. They're not immigrants.
Yeah, no.
They're pilgrims.
It's crazy, man. And it just, but I see bleeding into like all aspects of life, like especially in court. Like, dude, I got a case now with this sovereign citizen, like crazy person. And there's just tons of them. Or it's just people acting out and just, there's no like social respect, right? Like it's just, I don't get it. I don't understand it. And like I said, this is probably the first time I've been really heated about politics and in general, but it's just the buffoonery that goes on. It's just amazeballs.
Imagine if history class, they were like, and then in 1620, the English invaded illegally, mind you, invaded America. The illegal immigrants eventually wiped out the natives. And this is a tale. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, right? We really should look at it like that. That not even that, because first of all, here's something we've now figured out is Native Americans have been on this continent. They used to think it was about 8,000 years, and now there's evidence that it's somewhere between 23 and 31,000 years.
Yeah.
And so they were there a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And then the Vikings showed up, and then Columbus and the Spanish showed up, and then the English and the French showed up, and everybody just annihilated all of the
imagine
all the illegal immigrants came to this country and wiped out our natives, and that we're the descendants of the invaders, and now we're concerned about another invasion.
Yeah, and it's
the people we invaded in the first place.
Well, that's
Damn!
Yeah, like it's crazy to me, and it's just
that's called full circle.
It's just it just blows my mind. Like it just, and I think the worst part is that just the people who just blindly support it, and you just can't be like, you know what, this ain't good. That, you know, but on the flip side, what's the alternative at this point? Right? Like you got that dude from New York who's you know, he's all about New York, but like that's not going to fly either, right? Like in an ideal situation, everyone helps everybody out. We're all in this together. Clearly, this country's not about that in the least bit, right? Like I like some socialist ideas, right? Like I think that I really like try to be considerate and that like, hey, we're all in this shit together, right? Like we all have good days and bad days, and it's, you know, everyone wants to be happy in this pursuit of perfection instead of just accepting the imperfection and enjoying your life. And, you know, listen, like there is that ripple effect, and I'm a big believer of, you know, just doing something nice is could change the outcome of someone's day. But the fact that, you know, everyone's like, well, this guy from New York's coming out and it's going to change things. Like that dude's living in La La Land as well. Right. Like there's got to be that happy medium. But I mean, what choice do we have at this point? Because we're so far in the me mentality. And these people who have the me mentality, this big, beautiful bill is never going to benefit them. That's the funniest shit about it. Right. Like, 92%, maybe 95% of these Trump supporters, you're never going to see the benefit of it ever. Right? Like if you're making between 65 and 75, $80,000, you're getting $865 in your tax refund. And in exchange for that, you're cutting 17 million people off of fucking healthcare.
Dude's making bank on those watches, though.
Dude, what did he just put up something? No. That's the other thing that's crazy. You've never seen a president in your entire life.
Trump watch.
No, he just put out something else. He just made something else.
Oh, it's a perfume.
Yes.
For men and women.
Yeah, Victory 45 or some shit.
Yep.
But like, how can you sit there? Like, if I'm in any other country, I don't care if I'm living in a hut and I'm a king, dude, and I got like a bone in my fucking nose. And at least I'm not slanging shit on QVC.
You know what I hear people say when confronted with that and they're big Trump supporters? They go, I mean, wouldn't you do the same thing?
No. Like, no, because
I hate that too.
Like, it's
that when someone does something immoral, it's like, well,
once you do it? No, I wouldn't.
Right? It's like Kobe raped somebody. I mean, what if a girl came into your hotel room at 2 a.m.? Wouldn't you rape her? Like, no. What are you talking about?
Nope.
Why would you even think that?
Like, that's not. I had a client. he really beat the shit out of his girl. He's like, yo, don't you ever just want to? And I'm like, bro, sometimes I went crouching tiger, hidden dragon on my wife, but it was in my head. Right? Like, my wife would just be mad about something in my head. I'm like Bruce Lee, like fucking nunchucks the whole nine, but I just say you're right, and I would walk away. So no, I would just never. I couldn't say, hey, yeah, I just punched her in the face. I get it. No, I don't. But like the point is like the president of the United States is the most important salesperson in the entire country, right? That's why everyone loved Clinton. Well, you never talk about like Clinton and the policies. I mean, you talk about the blowjobs and the hand jobs. Fine, cool, get after it, dude. I don't care. But like he was a talker. He was a salesperson, right? Like coolest guy in the fucking room. Obama, coolest guy in the room.
By the way, Bill Clinton wanted to build a wall right around the impeachment time, and the Republicans were totally opposed to it. I shit you not. Look it up on the internet if you don't believe me. 1998. You got to hear it. And like Lindsey Graham's like, we don't need no wall. We love our friends in Mexico.
Yeah, it is. But my point is like, it's embarrassing where we're at. Like, it's just embarrassing that this is what our government has come to. We have, you know, we have like a podcaster running this show. We got a weird Patel guy with a lazy eye, head of the FBI, who's off the. He's probably the most sane out of all of them, by the way, which is saying something. You know,
he is the sneakiest. He creeps me out.
You know, he looks like Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
Like you got Pete, you got Pete over here saying women shouldn't be in the military. That dude's the biggest fucking misogynistic asshole ever. And then it's insane, bro. And every time I turn on the news, I just got to watch something else. You know, Israel gives, you know, Trump the nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize, which is fucking, and I can guarantee you Trump doesn't even know what that means.
Well, I listen, and I hate to say this, but there's not a lot of people working on peace right now, which means he's got a fucking pretty good chance of winning.
I mean, yeah, except for the fact he's unleashing our military on his own people. Like, that's kind of a problem.
Well, no one's focused on that part. is
like, and these
kind of that.
Like, this is gonna be a heavy political show right now, but it's fine because it's kind of funny. It's like these ICE agents, by the way, like, I don't know where they're finding them. It was just like this guy was working at a Brinks truck, and they're like, "Fucking, here's a badge, a ski mask, and some sunglasses," and they're just yoking people up, right? No, you don't got to identify them. They don't got to show any. They're just throwing people around.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, sign me up for that.
The A-team just shows up in a van, and they, like, no.
Like, they just they rented a Suburban from fucking Enterprise, and they were like,
I know, that's crazy, man.
It's
no badges, no ID, nothing on it. Just, we're here to take you.
I know
Get the fuck out of here.
I know what I'm doing for Halloween.
Yo, seriously, I'm surprised that there's not more shootouts.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
It's got to. They're gonna grab somebody with a machine gun, and I'm telling you, there's gonna be a massacre. And I used to always say that, as far as, like, if they were ever to come for the guns, like, dude, the first guy's house, they're like, "Hey, we're here for your guns," and he's like, "Yeah, over my dead." That's going to be the last time. Now, you know, it's funny, real quick. You brought up something, and if you'll indulge me for 2 minutes, I'll make this quick. I like socialism, too. Democratic socialism. It's the thing Bernie Sanders talks about.
Yep.
I often hear people conflate, and they say democracy and capitalism go hand in hand, and socialism and communism.
No. What
you're thinking about is the communist regime in Russia that instilled a socialist society. You don't necessarily have to have that.
Correct.
You don't. And so to conflate those is like, you could have, and again, in this, I love this. I got a friend who's a big Trump supporter. He might even be watching. But he hates socialism. And he works at the post office. And I had to explain to him, I'm like, do you understand that you work for a socialist program? And he was like, I work for yes, you work for an organization that loses about $200 billion a year.
It's impressive.
And do you know who pays the difference for that shit? All of us. It's democratic socialism. We choose elected officials, and then we invest in these programs. The whole highway system, socialism, it was paid with federal tax dollars and grants. The construction and repairs of our highways continues to be funded by socialist programs. You're aware of Social Security. It's literally in the fucking name. You're afraid of socialism because you think it's like Venezuela, which, by the way, wasn't a communist government. And so, again, I can prove to you how these things are not mutually exclusive. You can have one without the other. Democratic socialism is the police, the fire department, the post office. It's the things that we enjoy. Community centers. If you have like a community pool, that's socialism. We all pay money to have a pool collectively. You can go to it or not. You have the right to go to it. That's socialism.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a communist dictator in charge, They're a little tighter on the rules, and it gives socialism a bad name. But again, and people are like, show me where socialism's ever worked. Well, it works here in the United States every single day when you go to your mailbox and get the mail, or
Correct.
you call the fire department and they show up and they spray your house with water.
Or your parents are collecting a Social Security.
Don't be right. Don't be stupid. Don't be fooled by buzzwords and scare tactics, because socialism is a good thing.
Yeah.
Communist socialism means you're a peasant in a dictatorship.
But
nobody's pushing for that. And well,
we're already there, Hammer. We're already there.
Ironic.
But I think the problem is that, I mean, what do the Democrats do from here?
Lose?
Yeah.
They backed themselves into a terrible corner. And listen, as Donald Trump has continued to reshape truth and reality, and I mean, increasingly, right? Like, I've stopped arguing with people because, like, what's the fucking point? I don't like, what's your baseline is like, you read Breitbart and it's like, why even talk to you? You're like a fucking moron. I think. I mean, you're not getting real news. I mean, and it's,
but
and again, they'll tell you like, oh, your mainstream media.
No,
the mainstream media is not some, like, I don't know where these bullshit conspiracy theories come from. I've been working in media for almost 30 years.
You're 50. That's a long time.
And I can tell you that not a single solitary person in 30 years has ever dictated what I can or cannot say. And anytime I've ever been presented with an interview or I've been given limitations, I've told them to go fuck themselves. I'm not interested. If I can't fully do my thing, I don't want to do it. I also had a podcast. I started a podcast company 6 years ago. It's going very well. This is obviously one of those podcasts.
It's the podcast.
It is. It's become the anchor.
The flagship.
But again, listen, there is a serious issue in this country where, people, I'll tell you another thing I don't like, and this is another developing thing. And yesterday they threatened Harvard with discredit or what does that call it when they take the accreditation away. You can hate liberals and elitists and whatever. That's fine. You can hate all those things. The idea that the government
is being a bully
is going to dictate what any university, and worse than that, we've seen them go after law firms.
Correct.
And they're trying to dictate hiring practices to private companies. And I have a huge problem with that. And that's where we start moving into that authoritarian kind of nonsense.
Well, you heard him talk about, Trump came out the other day talking about maybe the federal government taking over Washington, D.C. And if this guy becomes mayor of New York's going to have to have problems, or we're going to have to come in and clean it up. Like, that's where this guy is at. And regardless of where you're getting your news, like, you don't have to get it from a news anchor. Just listen to the guy, right? Just listen to this guy speak, right? Everyone was all excited about these fucking tariffs. Oh, he's going to drop the hammer. Oh, this is the final deadline. Oh, wait, guess what? It just got extended again. This guy is just lying to everybody's face.
That's
like
Trump 101.
I know, but like, we don't have to worry about conspiracy theories if people just listen to what's coming out of this guy's mouth. But the fact that he could talk about, well, I'm just going to take over DC, and if this state or this city doesn't do what I want them to do, we'll come clean up that place too. And if I don't like what's happening in LA, I'm going to send troops out there, right? Like, and people in Connecticut don't worry about it because they're not out in LA, but what's stopping him from doing it here or anywhere? Like, where is the Where's that line where he can't cross? Because he doesn't have a line, right? And at some point, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, you got to say something. You had all these Republicans, I'm voting no, no, no. Then they had a secret meeting. One dude I heard on the news, he was just like, yeah, I was no, but then I met with him. He said I looked great on TV, and then he changed his vote. Like, that's the type of fucking jabronis we have. And I don't, like, it's aggravating because it's creating so much hate amongst people. And there's always been a division, but I think it's just on another level now. And the amount of ignorant people that are voicing their opinions is at a whole nother level. And it aggravates the shit out of me. And I think this is the most I've ever talked about politics ever in my life, but it's coming to, I mean, it's disappointing. I think it's disgusting. It's aggravating. And most importantly, I'm just disappointed in people in general because they can't have an honest conversation about it. Right. I'd rather have someone who's mega rich and be like, yeah, I'm just super excited about this bill because I'm going to save a ton of money. Right. I could buy $100 million jet and write it all off. It's dope. I could buy that G-Wagon because it's dope. Then fine. Be honest with it. Fine. I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not going to agree with it, but I understand it. But it's when you get these people who are making $30,000 a year and Trump supporters, they think it's going to help them, and all of a sudden there's your SNAP, there's all that state assistance gone, all the federal assistance gone, and now it's the kids, right? Like, people, like, kids can't get fucking lunches now. They can't get fucking treatment, right? Their parents can't afford shit. Like, it's all real life shit. And then all these people, we have these immigrants who work hard, fucking 7 days a week. They're not out, like, ICE isn't out getting gangbangers and rapers, right? Because you don't see fucking the federal government targeting school shooters, right? Like, you don't like,
well, they're all here legally.
Yeah, so it's fine, right? Like, it's insane to me. Right? Like, when you pull the two guys out of a car wash in Southington, I'm pretty sure that it wasn't El Chapo over there fucking drying off my car. Like, what do you like?
Well, now, to your point, isn't that not one of the biggest hypocrisies? It's like these lazy, welfare collecting migrants. And it's like, do you know a fucking immigrant, legal or otherwise, that doesn't work multiple jobs and put your ass to shame?
Well, that's the thing.
All do.
Because they're not the ones reaping these free benefits. Like, they're not. Like, there are people who abuse the system, but there's much more people who need the system. And that's just facts. I see it every day in my law practice. Judges get mad at me because I'm always taking things on discount or doing shit for free because I have a conscience, right? But it's the majority that need these programs. But to blame the immigrants because they're taking my jobs, I can guarantee you don't want to do what some of these immigrants are doing, right? I don't want to be. We got this huge farm across the street from where I live. They're not people who look like me out there 7 days a week in 100-degree weather, working from sun up to sundown, right? Like. Yep. And so, yes, if you're saying, well, I want them to be here legally, that's a different conversation. But to blatantly, like, just be like, you know what? Everyone's a drug dealer because they have tattoos. Everyone's raping your women because they have brown skin. Just the bold-faced, old white man, racist mentality. It's just absolutely crazy.
They're eating the dogs.
Oh, I did hear something funny, though. It was a stand-up. So, you watch the Daily News, right? Who's the Asian guy? I can't remember his name. He's so funny. He does like stand up. But he was talking about how there should be.
I love him, and my God.
Yeah, so he does this whole bit today. I was laughing. So he was like, "We should definitely have an Asian president." He's like, "We just solve problems. We just go in. We don't have days off. We don't celebrate Christmas. You want tasty food at 3 a.m? We got it for you. We work. I don't care about dried turkey. There's no government shutdown. We just work and solve problems." And I'm like, That's hilarious.
It's funny. The stereotype of an immigrant in America is they have hygiene problems and they work 80 hours a week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like these lazy fucking bums that work 80 hours a week at what?
No, it's
I don't get it, Vin.
And you know what the worst part is? It's usually the people who just sit fucking home, drink Bud Heavies all day, and watch NASCAR, and they're just like, the immigrants are lazy. While they're just bumming around, 900 pounds, just wearing their Trump hats.
But see, if someone's going to sit on their lazy ass and collect off the government, they feel like it's supposed to be them.
Yeah, because they're American.
And there you go. and that is when we talk about what is nationalism, it's that.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
It is, because the sense of entitlement is, I'm white, I'm American, and you guys should just be thankful to be in our presence, which is the most racist, like 1930s, like just blatant racism. That's just, it's out there, and it's crazy to me. Like, cause I didn't grow up with that. Like, I didn't really see it. And now that I'm 45, like, you think we'd be past that? Like,
you didn't see racism?
I'm not gonna lie. If I think about it as a kid, no. Like, I didn't. And then I got to college, and I guess people could have said I was racist because I was like battle rapping and wearing do-rags. So I thought I got invited to the barbecue. So I don't know. Like, I didn't pay attention to it. It wasn't in my face. Had black friends, white friends, Spanish friends, whatever.
So your black friends didn't clue you in on their experiences in life?
No, it didn't. No.
For instance, I'm in high school.
Yeah.
Right. And I do have black friends, and I'm not saying that like,
they're all named Dave.
Anyway, my black friends, if I said, hey, let's go to Napoli Pizza in Wallingford, they love pizza. The blacks do. I kid. Nobody would go to Wallingford because Wallingford has a rep, and they'd be like, no, I ain't going there. And I'm like, what do you mean you won't go to Wallingford? And they're like, bro, black guy in Wallingford's getting pulled over. And
yeah, I mean, I had so you know
what I'm saying? It's like you're aware that black people get
like I was let me clear the, I was aware that it was happening.
Okay.
Right? Like, so like it wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe there's racist people out there and I don't know their hardships. But like, I think it was kind of ingrained in a community where like it never came up in conversation, except for my one friend Mehdi, right? So Mehdi, like, he was like straight from Africa, so when he talked on the phone, he was yelling, like he had to yell across the village he came from. He'd be like, Vinnie! And I'm like, yo, we're on the phone, Mehdi. I can't talk to you. But he was super loud, but super successful. But he would get pulled over all the time. And I remember we had this conversation one night. This was back when everyone was wearing velour suits, like, the basketball jerseys, long T-shirts, do-rags. And he was a finance guy, but he get yoked over all the time because he looked like he ran drugs for 50. Like, he just... And I'm like, and he was like crying to me on the phone. And I'm like, he's like, it's wrong, Vin. And I'm like, I know, Mehdi. It's absolutely wrong that they're stereotyping. But we had to have the conversation, be like, listen, you're in this business now. You shouldn't have to act a certain way when you're not out of work. And it's wrong that they're targeting you, but you have to make choices. And that's a tough conversation to have with a white dude, right? Because I can never understand. I never had to worry about any of that. I didn't have to worry about, if I could go somewhere or the way I looked and if people are thinking about X, Y, and Z, right? And I couldn't imagine living life like that. But that was probably like the one friend, because the rest of my friends, dude, I was like DJing and battle rapping, and it never really came up. But like, I I have a very low, I have like zero tolerance for that shit. And it really, really makes me like, there's not things that really set me off more than racist people. Like,
you know what, it's funny. Just before you continue, just bullies in general.
what? Yeah.
People that picked on the, the weaker people, that's always gotten my goat. And anytime I've gotten into physical altercations, it's because a bigger person was bullying us. Well, a tougher person was bullying a pussy. And I can't, you do that shit in front of me, I'll slap your fucking face in.
Well, so sometimes I have these conversations with, my clients, and, they're going through a divorce or whatever they're going through. And they're like, how am I supposed to not react? Right. And the advice I try to give them is, if someone says something or insults you, or just insulting you left and right, like, the best thing to do is, and this is how you beat the bully, right? Especially if they're just like all bark and no bite. Whatever they say, just don't say nothing for 7 seconds. Just let it hang out there, right? Because now they're like, what the fuck, right? And then you ask them to repeat it. And then you let it be silence again and see how their reaction is, right? Because you can't fight every bully, right? But like, I try to tell people, you can only control what you're doing. So, because if you react right away, you're just going to get it back. You're never going to change that person's mind. But if you let them just sit in it and then have them repeat it, 9 out of 10 times they ain't repeating this shit because they're like, fuck, like, I sound stupid. But I think that's the scary part now, going back to the racism thing, is just, it really, and it's crazy because I never had to go through it, right? Like, I never had to worry about someone being racist against me ever. But there's very few things in life that set me off more than that, is, and including people ragging on immigrants, and regardless if you're Hispanic, Black, Portuguese, like Polish, like whatever. Like,
why did you bring up the Portuguese?
I don't know, because it had a P in it, and that's all I could pronounce at the time.
All right.
Dude, you brought up today a 22-year-old South Korean pop star. I don't want to hear about it. You want me to bring it back to that?
Well, I'm Portuguese, and you're not a 22-year-old.
Well, I'm calling ICE. You got papers?
You know what? Not for fucking nothing. Not for nothing, because
you got papers.
You don't. Let me tell you something. Take a look at me. I know what you're thinking. Handsome white guy. One time I was I think I was 20. I was driving around with some of my friends, and this asshole cop in Meriden pulled us over, violently pulled us over, pulled its gun out. And I lowered my window down, and this dude's fucking screaming at me. And I'm like, what is your deal? And he goes, I don't know what you guys are doing here, but there's been a string of robberies or some shit. And I'm like, dude, I go, well, I'm not a criminal. And he goes, you look like a criminal.
Yep.
Oh, really, motherfucker? What the hell does that mean? I
mean, you do, though.
I do. When I lived in Portland, Maine for 3.5 years. My best friend was the vice president of the Maine Association of Police, Jim Fahey. Excellent dude. And I got to tell you, I called this guy, Christ, I don't know, every 3 weeks or so. I used to get pulled. If there was a cop behind me, I would look up in the rearview and be like, all right, here we go. Whoop, whoop, yep, again. And I would call Jim, and Jim would call the cop, and they would toss my ticket. But I probably got pulled over in the 3 years I lived there. I shit you not, more than 30 times. There was literally back-to-back nights. I drove home. I lived in South Portland. I drove to Scarborough, where I live. Same route, same exact spot, different cop pulled me over. Yep. Same bullshit. And I literally had to call my buddy Jim and be like, dude, you're never, he goes, fucking same cop. I go, no.
Different one.
Different cop, but same exact spot, if you can believe that. So I understand what being profiled is like. Now, I also, I had an incident and I got arrested and I had to turn myself in and I got processed. and I will tell you this, kudos to the Newington police who were amazingly respectful during my surrender. I will tell you that. However, while I was in there and these guys were making jokes because I paid cash bail, they were like doing like Inigo Montoya and Tony Soprano and like just they brought a black guy in, a black criminal who had robbed a Best Buy at gunpoint. And I saw firsthand after they processed me.
You see how different it is.
They processed me in about 15 seconds. I shit you not.
Yeah.
And no ink on the finger. I mean, it was like in and out. And I was sitting in the where the cops sit. It was like in their area.
Yeah.
And they brought this black dude in and they ran him through the same process that I got through in like 30 seconds, 15 minutes. It was a whole thorough, like, I remember they asked me, any medical conditions? No. Any sexually transmitted diseases? No. And that was it.
Yeah.
And they moved on. Dude, this guy, they were like, do you have chlamydia? No. Gonorrhea? AIDS? Like, I mean, they named off shit I didn't even know was a thing.
Well,
this guy literally got run through the ringer. And I don't know if I ever told you this. When they put me in the little lockup area, they didn't close the door.
Yeah.
They didn't close the door. And I immediately walked back out and I sat down on the bench again in the cops area, not obviously where, and then they put this black guy in the lockup. And I was like, holy shit, dude. It fucking pays to be white in America. Oh my God.
I listen, I see it every day because I do a lot of criminal work, and it's a very different tenor depending on what color you are. And that's just,
it's fucking eye-opening to go through it and to be like, oh wow, dude. They right? I mean, I was in there accused of an assault.
Yeah.
It's a fucking violent crime.
Yep. And they're just letting you walk around free.
I literally physically knocked somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
That guy just held a gun up to somebody and robbed them. I mean, who's the more violent criminal? And they were like, this guy, you'll be in and out of here in 10 minutes, dog. That guy, they literally said to him, you're never going to see the light of day again. They said that to the black guy, and I thought, oh, my God. Wow. But I can't even believe how, like, I'm seeing this. It was like if the NAACP wanted to put on like a skit to teach white people a lesson. That's exactly what it was like. Oh my God, you guys, I get it.
But Joe, there's no white privilege.
I've got about 15 stories that could prove to you.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, that white privilege is real. Now, again, I mentioned having been profiled a couple times. And it was, again, one of those things where I'm like, for me, perspective kicked in. It's like, when the cop said you look like a criminal, I knew what he meant by that. And you know what I did? I went to the Meriden Police Department and I asked for the sergeant on duty and I filed a complaint.
That's a white person thing to do.
That's a white privilege ass motherfucking thing to do. And I thought as I was doing that, like, right, my black and Puerto Rican friends have no fucking recourse. No recourse. No. If they walked in, they're like, I'd like to speak to a sergeant. They're going to spend the night there. Guaranteed.
I remember I was at, I don't remember what jewelry store it was, like whatever. And I was with one of my boys and they were just following my boy around. And I'm just watching and I'm getting more mad and more mad as I'm just watching all these people hawk him. So I just walked over. I was like, I started talking to him. He's like, oh, he's with you? I'm like, yeah, is he good now? And they're like, yeah, he's good. They literally said it out loud.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
what are the good ones?
Dude, my buddy had to calm me down. He wasn't even mad. So it was another time he pulled me out. He was like, listen, it's kind of how it goes. I'm like, it ain't right, bro. I got to go fight for you. He's like, I appreciate the offer, but I don't need Whitey fighting my battles. I'm like, did you just call me Whitey, by the way? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, he's like, no, you don't get to come back with a name with me. I was like, okay, fair.
Did I ever tell you about the time I almost banged my cousin?
Yes, dude. We're not going over that again tonight. It's gross.
No, don't focus
it's gross.
on that part. But again,
I've never uttered that sentence.
I always just the funniest part of that story was literally that my black friend was like, "This girl doesn't like black dudes." I thought you guys would be a good match, and I thought, yeah, I don't really dig that attitude, though.
Yeah, because he sniffed that racism in your family tree.
He did, and he was like, "You're probably cool with that." Like,
yeah, and you were. That's the worst part.
I guess
you were.
I could let that slide. Would I date a girl that's a little racist? I would, but I would constantly tell her that's no.
Wow, I would bombshell.
I would constantly tell her that I think that's a terrible stance.
Dude,
and I would tell her I'm silently judging her while still loving her.
Wow, I'm judging you hard because that's a hard no for me.
This is obviously not my wife. This is some whore.
I'm going to go ask your wife when we get upstairs. I'm like, are you slightly racist?
Real quick, what is your most controversial opinion? We don't really have time to get into this. But my most controversial opinion is that Joe Biden won the 2020 election. I'll give you another hot take. January 6th was, in fact, an insurrection. I'll give you another controversial statement.
God.
Controversial statement. The Earth,
it's flat.
It's fucking round. It is round.
It's flat.
I know you're thinking,
flat. You're
thinking to yourself, listen, Globy. They're pulling the wool over your eyes. No, idiot. We've got fucking pictures. Also, think about this. Despite all the science, think about this one really obvious thing. Think about everything you've ever seen in outer space. Or if you want to just literally the two closest things you can see, what's the shape of them? Fucking circles, right? Why would those be circles?
And we're flat?
And this is like, what? I mean, are you retarded?
No.
You gotta be a little retarded.
Now my wife's gonna be mad when she listens to this show. You dropped the R word. I know Trump's in office, but that's not acceptable.
I thought anything goes these days, you fucking retards.
That is your most controversial statement.
You don't want to bring a retard back for fucking idiots.
I'm sweating.
What is your most controversial opinion, Vin, that you're on this podcast?
I can't top any of those. I don't think I have a controversial. I think my whole presence is pretty aggressive. So I don't know. I don't have.
Well, that and also Sandy Hook didn't happen.
That is. Oh my God!
I'm just kidding, by the way.
Yeah, that's sarcastic. Did you? What's that guy's name? Who said that shit?
Alex Jones.
Yeah. So I don't have any of these controversial statements because usually half the things that flow out of my mouth offend somebody. But this jabroni, I saw him on TikTok yesterday, and he was so mad about this Epstein list. He's like, I just want to puke because I have integrity. Bro, I had to save the video so I could watch it again.
Does that guy think that integrity is food poisoning?
Dude, so crazy story about that Sandy Hook, like it didn't happen shit. So I had an attorney on the other side of the case, and she was like I Googled her, and she was a Sandy Hook conspiracy theory crazy bitch. And she just got hired by my boy, at his firm. So I sent him to the league, bro. I'm like, what you doing with crazy pants over here? And he's like, what the? I was like, so she was running her mouth in the hallway. So I walked out. I'm like, yo, by the way, I don't think you have a job when you get back. And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I found the article you were in. Have a good career. Not to get off topic, but if you deny, you say crazy stuff like that, you ought to die. But yeah, no controversial statements. We'll do this one next week. This was a heavy political show.
Can I say one more thing actually on this, just real quick to wrap it up? You guys look this nutcase up, Dr. James Fetzer. I've interviewed this guy twice. He's actually the guy who first proposed to Alex Jones that Sandy Hook was staged. This guy, I looked him up before I interviewed him. And in this article, Vin, it said Dr. James Fetzer was once considered one of the rising scientists, researchers in the United States. And then he got into the JFK conspiracy theory. And that's when he went batshit crazy. That's literally what it said in the bio. Like that he was batshit crazy. And I got to tell you, I talked to him about the JFK conspiracy theory. And he and I briefly had a back and forth on Sandy Hook. And number one, and this cracks me up because he's a PhD researcher. I told him I live in Connecticut. And he's like, so he didn't think it happened. And I said, have you been to Sandy Hook? Like, you go to Sandy Hook now, you could still sense that something terrible happened there.
Yep.
I don't know that that's ever going to go away. And he said to me, oh, I've never been in Connecticut. And I was like, then you should shut the fuck up. Because Dr. Fucknuts, I have hosted a charity event for the Catherine Violet Hubbard Foundation. She was one of the 20 children that was murdered, and I've had the privilege of working with her mother and father. They're real fucking people with a real daughter who got slaughtered.
Yeah.
Like, how fucking dare you? You did a FOIA request and based off of that, have the audacity to confidently speak on, like, bro, get off your idiot ass and go check it out for yourself. You can do that. Anyway, I just had to get that out. All right. So for next time. No, didn't we already do this one? If you could go back in time to meet one person, who would it be and why? Remember, you picked your wife who's still living and lives with you. You wouldn't even have to travel for that card.
Oh, go ahead.
You'll remember I picked my pop-pop.
Mm-hmm.
Pop-pop. Ooh. What is something you regret telling someone? You know what? I thought this was going to say what's something you didn't regret telling somebody. And I was going to say,
can do both.
I told a buddy of mine to watch out for the rail on a staircase. And I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. Also, I do know someone that fell down a flight of stairs and died, and it's tragic. Anyway, what is something you regret telling someone? You shared something, and you instantly were like, well, that was a fucking mistake. Never do that again.
That'll be a good one for next week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on that.
Are you a little shit-faced?
No, I'm just really hot because it's
I feel like you're slurring a little bit, though. No, is it
no,
just me?
it's because the sweat off my upper lip keeps pouring into my mouth because it's Africa hot down here. It's like literally gonna thunderstorm.
I sweat sometimes just thinking. I got nothing going on. I think it's you. I think it's your anxiety.
We're gonna get back into some life coaching stuff next week. This was the political podcast week, but
you feel like you got it all off your chest?
No, but it felt good. I feel better.
All of a sudden, it's like the fucking Joe Rogan show.
It is. We went Joe Rogan today.
It's like two guys that kind of don't know shit talking about it.
And then we're gonna sell you some neuro gum later.
Yeah. Just need some fucking vitamins and do jujitsu. That way, when the fucking shit hits the fan, you can defend yourself.
You're going to chew on this gum and you're going to remember everything.
It's good for your brain, alphas.
All right. Change Your Plan CT. I'm Vin, Joe. Check me out on the website, changeyourplanct.com. I swear I do some life coaching stuff. We'll get back in the game next week. But, it was a change of plans today, and it was much needed.
I enjoyed this.
It was a good time. Cheers, everybody.